So I'm on my way to work, jumping around the AM dial, trying to get last night's Red Sox score from the West Coast, and I hear these two guys talking about the Drop the Chilupa commercial. And I stop and listen because I think it's one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen. But that's not what these hockey pucks are saying. No, they're complaining about that commercial because they don't get it. And even before I can hit the scan button again, Beavis and Butthead are on to capital punishment. And why am I not surprised that they're in favor of it? But I am surprised that they have the cojones to express an opinion on it right after they've just admitted they don't get Drop the Chilupa. Isn't that typical of us right now? We live in the golden age of the opinion. No knowledge, no education, no qualification. Just give us your opinion like a judge in a poetry slam. No, I like that commercial. Don't get the idea that I'm in favor of advertising. The other day I was waiting for the subway and there's this kid on the platform next to me wearing a Gap sweatshirt and I said, "How much you get for that?" He said, "What?" I said, "I'm not proud. Money's a little tight right now, paying up all those college loans and such. We could use a few extra bucks. So how much do you charge the Gap for wearing their advertising like that?" He started to move away from me down the platform. I said, "I got just one word for you, kid. MCAS." And he started to run. And all the kids on the platform started to run away from me as I stood there shouting, "MCAS! MCAS!" Which set me thinking that if I'd stayed with the Drop the Chilupa guys 5 more minutes, they probably would have been ranting and raving about the schools and the teachers and why can't kids pass the MCAS? Maybe they can't, you twin peaks of nincompoop. But I guarantee you, they get Drop the Chilupa. So why can't kids pass the MCAS? Because they don't do any homework. Why? Because they're all up working at Taco Bell. Why? Because they've become the hottest market for all the advertisers. They have to shell out $48 for a Gap sweatshirt, $18.98 for the new Britney Spears CD. I bought Don't Be Cruel for 89 cents. Hallelujah, I Love Her So, Ray Charles, changed my life, 89 cents. Mac the Knife, the Louis Armstrong version, I laid a crumpled dollar down, they gave me back a penny and a dime. And they didn't need a calculator to do it. These kids have to buy the whole CD and they have to work half a day for that. Studying pays nada, and they're consumers now. They know it. We just haven't gotten around to admitting it. Now you're going to tell me they don't have to listen to the ads, and you're right. Except for one thing. Advertising works. Every once in a while the stakes get high enough to compel us to acknowledge that it works. We took liquor commercials off TV and cigarettes. We forced them to put in disclaimers. Please chug-a-late responsibly. May cause drowsiness, anal leakage, and agonizing death. Erections lasting more than 4 hours require immediate medical attention. I wish somebody had told me that a long time ago. What we really need is a disclaimer that says, "I got paid big bucks to tell you that about Doritos. If you believe one word I said, you'd be safer going to Hannibal Lecter's for an intimate dinner than you are watching TV, because the advertisers will leave you alive." Even that might not be enough. We've made TV the babysitter for 2 generations of our kids. Now we find out that was like putting W in charge of the evidence in a Coke bus. And no one understands the power of advertising better than the politicians who gave away the airwaves in the first place. Now it's poetic justice that they have to sell their soul every couple of years to buy their office back. Campaign finance reform? Why don't we just say political ads are free? Can't we do that? Don't the airwaves belong to the people? I'll have to call the Drop the Chilupa guys and see if they have an opinion about that. But of course they'll have an opinion about it. As soon as they hear it, they'll have an opinion. Because see this bone here? Notice how it goes directly from the ear to the jaw. This is the opinion bone. An idea enters the ear, and this bone carries it straight to the mouth, where it exits matched randomly with one of 3 opinions. It's cool, it sucks, or for anything that's not immediately, intuitively obvious, it doesn't suck. The brain never has to be engaged. In the wrong hands, this bone is still the most dangerous weapon in the world, the jawbone of an ass. That didn't come out right. And the Philistines have turned it against us. Of course, that's only my Okay.